What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap, and today we're going to take a look at my semifinals matches in the Snap Wars League end of season playoffs. I'm already in the semifinals because I placed first in the top league division, and now we are up against Kingpin. This video is going to feature a best of 3 conquest matches, and we'll see who comes out on top. I'm doing a giveaway for PAX bundles. Stick around till the end of the video to find out how you can win. Here we go. Let's see what Kingpin comes up with here. We are again rocking our trusty Cerebro 3. And it is not failing us just yet. This is looking pretty good here. We're going to wait till we see some locations before we snap, but yeah, we got the Killmonger and we've got the Cerebro and the Mystique. These are honestly probably the best cards that we can ask for. I'm going to wait till we see the third location, though I kind of want to play Jeff here. I feel like that might give up exactly what's going on, so I'm actually just going to snap right now. Maybe the third location does me in. But honestly, I think it'll be all right. I think that this draw is just so impressive that we should be good. And it's just Vibranium Mines. That is definitely a location that we can beat. So now it's just a matter of if we draw Bast or not. But I think we play Killmonger, Cerebro, Mystique into Dark Dimension. And we're probably not going to be grabbing 4 cubes here, to be totally honest. We will probably just grab 2. But I think that we will be able to grab those 2 cubes. Okay, so this turn we could lay out Gorgon plus Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is a little spooky, though, because she could turn a location into a bad location for us. Could just go Juggernaut into Cerebro Gorgon into Mystique next turn. I don't really want to Juggernaut them. Alright, I guess I'm going to play Scarlet Witch then. It just feels unnecessarily risky. Alright, let's just play Juggernaut then. If it moves a move card, so be it. Okay, no. They are going to pick up their Vulture. They're grabbing a lot of Vibranium here. I can't imagine they're going to be able to toss priority here. That seems like it could be wacky. So I think we just play Gorgon and then Cerebro. And then we play Mystique and we might have to play Scarlet Witch, but we might get to play Cosmic or Negasonic or something else. It's a lot of hidden power here, but our power is also consolidated all in Central Park right now. So that could also get a little bit awkward. Oh, and they have filled up Dark Dimension this turn. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that's a little spicy. And now we have not really hit a good final turn. It feels like I'm supposed to honestly do this and kind of risk it. Otherwise, I don't have that many points up on the board. I have 10 points here. And then, yeah, 20 points over here and 10 points over here. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I do think this is where they're likely to have their most points. But I think we're going to run out the Scarlet Witch here. Could do me in. Could be pretty terrible for me. But we do have access to the Killmonger without priority. So maybe that will be able to hit a Human Torch. And randomly spike a win here. Or maybe we just get 2 cubes. Yeah, I don't think our board is like that impressive, but I don't think it's a board that we can retreat from. Okay, cool. 2 cubes. Oh, right, we forgot about this, but because I won the top league, I'm supposed to have an advantage for this match. So I am supposed to just have a 2-cube advantage for one of these matches. It will be a best out of 3, though. So we are just squaring that up now and should play the rest of these out as normal. And that was actually a pretty good loadout for me, too, with the Sentry and the Cerebro. So it's a little unfortunate to only grab those 2 cubes from that one, but we digress here. We have the Killmonger, which is nice. Could see, ooh, and Utopia. That could also be nice. So Kingpin with priority here. I guess, I mean, I don't think this Negasonic's ever going to be fantastic. I think we'll hang on to the Killmonger until we know it is generating some value. And I think we'll just drop a Negasonic Teenage Warhead this game, or this turn. Okay, more squirrels. And here's the Bast. That's kind of why I didn't want to just drop Luke Cage last turn. Now with Prio, I could see playing Killmonger here just to take out Aranya. It's not the craziest idea. It's not the best idea either. We're going to have pretty good flexibility to weave in Bast on turn 5, though, as well, with all of our 3-cost cards costing 2. I think we just play another Juggernaut. They're never going to play to this location here anyways. Never mind, they do. Wasn't expecting that. And what is it? It's a Madam Web over in Utopia. Okay, well now they have a little bit of a trickier time moving a card into the Madam Web. So it actually did kind of get him, to be totally honest. Wasn't precisely what I was anticipating there. Oh, and then we have Dream Dimension, and this deck no longer has access to Mobius, so I think I do have to run out the Bast this turn, actually. Because next turn, I mean, actually, we can just play it next turn, too. Yeah, I guess we play the Bast next turn alongside a 3-cost card, or alongside a Sentinel. Okay, let's play the Bast. Let's play the Bast. Sure. Would have been fine if we just wanted to play it alongside a Sentinel. They're going to have to give up something here into the Negasonic Teenage Warhead. They give up their Sage, so that way they can move a Human Torch. No, a Vulture. Oh, right, everything costs so much less. So they move a Vulture into Utopia. That's a pretty big card. So they might be looking to move that and bounce it this turn. And I could see them trying to move it and bounce it over here. Oh, everything costs 1 less and then costs 1 more. Right, so we actually could have played the Bast for free this turn, but it doesn't matter too much. I think we just play Cosmo here, not to lock myself out of either of these 2 locations. This does take priority every time, but maybe they'll play a Human Torch into Madam Web. That's the goal, and we're hoping that they, like, go for some type of bounce over in Dream Dimension. I think we could also retreat here. I don't think that we have the best sequence. Sure, I mean, we're 1 in 4 to draw Cerebro, but I don't think that those are really staying terms, to be totally honest. Should have fast retreated. That's my mistake. If we draw exactly Cerebro, then obviously we had a good play. Otherwise, we're playing like Killmonger plus Sentinel. Not super exciting. Escaped. So we'll give Kingpin a cube back there. And this Killmonger is definitely a friend. Yeah, they know that's not a Cerebro location, so they're somewhat free to play there. I might go for an early Killmonger this game. Okay, Cloning Vats allows me to potentially get really far ahead if I have the Cerebro. I don't. Don't tell him. Don't tell him I don't have the Cerebro yet. I could also drop Cosmos everywhere, too. I don't want to have too many cards in my hand, so I'm just going to play Jeff to here, I think. No, you know what? I'm going to play Sentinel to here, just so that way on turn 4 I can play Jeff plus Sentinel if I want to. I will reserve the right to do that. Oh, I could also drop Killmongers into Cloning Vats. That's going to be a big play next turn, actually. Yeah, that's looking reasonable. Oh, okay. They said they can't end their turn right now, but looks like it sorted itself out. Let's see. Let me ask him. Did you mean to not activate? Probably. They probably did. I think with Gorgon plus Cloning Vats, we could actually look to start snapping here. They have Prio, which is awkward. Just making sure that they are good and not bugged. Okay, okay. I think that they're good. I think we're going to snap here as we drop Cosmo into Cloning Vats and then Gorgon into Cloning Vats next turn. That means we only get one Killmonger. Well, we could have multiple Killmongers, but only one Killmonger that's going to on-reveal. But I think that that's fine. Oh, and we're snapping. Sorry. Boomer snap there, but was trying to sort out all the technical difficulties. And I do think a snap is good. It does mean that I won't draw a card next turn because I'm playing into Cloning Vats here. And yeah, this means we're going to hang on to this Killmonger for a little bit longer. Because now we know they will have a Human Torch on the final turn. So I think what I want to start doing here is this. Start making Gorgons. Next turn I can play Gorgon plus Cosmo. And then on the final turn I can play Killmonger plus maybe a Cerebro. But this should toss priority too.
I am the Sorcerer Supreme.
And yeah, if all of their power is in Human Torches, it should be all right. Though I think they could go for a big bounce play here. Pair of Madam Webs could also be a little annoying. Yeah, I mean, they've got Prio this turn, so we've got to just let them have it. I think we play another Gorgon, another Cosmo. And then this could set me up to Juggernaut plus Killmonger or something strange here. Do we ever take priority? I really don't think we do. Beast up by 5. We actually could take priority with a play like this, but I'm not going to not play cards here. I could play Mystique on Gorgon. No, I think we're just playing a second Cosmo. If they just play like Human Torch Beast into the hub, then we take priority going into the final turn. Kingpin's a pretty dang proficient move bounce player, so I think they would see a play like that. Go like Madam Web here. But Madam Web plus Beast actually would give them priority because they would go up by 1. Yeah, I think that they are looking to toss priority, but we're going to stay in it for 4 cubes. Make them find exactly that play. Yeah, it's a Beast here, but then a Madam Web here will take priority. Ghost Spider here. Oh, Ghost Spider here. Wow. Wow, really, really clutch play then. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, that was such a good play. Wow. Okay. Well. Oh, and now we just barely can't make it out of here. How much is this? That's 8. Wow, I've left my space. I can Juggernaut them out of the hub to win this location. But Cerebro doesn't get me enough points here, unfortunately. And I possibly can't even Juggernaut them out of the hub. So like Cerebro plus Killmonger doesn't do it. Yeah, that play I did not see coming. That was pretty dang good. So what else could I possibly do? I could Juggernaut and then move to like make a big play right here. I just don't think that this is ever winning. This is only 12. So that's going to have to be a retreat, unfortunately. Good play there. Good find from Kingpin. And that is actually going to put him ahead on cubes. I did think about the early Killmonger into cloning Vats providing some good tempo and giving me a re-up there, taking out the Aranya. But yeah, I didn't. They're very, very good at tossing priority there when Killmonger's on the menu. So good for them. All right, Rickety Bridge could be a location that we have to take out, or yeah, I don't think that's a great location for us, really. Because that's just going to mean whoever has the highest total power wins the game. It could mean that a spicy Juggernaut on the final turn could win the game, though, too. All right, Makari is going to come down this turn alongside a Gorgon. That actually all seems fine. Makari in any location is good. Let's snap. We don't know the third location yet, but I think we've got a reasonable enough loadout with the Juggernaut plus Rickety Bridge plan that we are looking fine. There's the Human Torch. Clearly setting up for a bit of a bounce over here, and Makari is going to find the bridge, which is a little bit bothersome. Oh, but that means she's coming back. Okay. That is kind of a game changer. So we could put a bunch of things into the bridge right now, like a Jeff into the bridge could be kind of cool. I know. This is interesting. Cosmo kind of was bad for me last game because it really limited how I could Juggernaut. They might try to take advantage of the bridge too. Let's throw Juggernaut in the bridge. That's going to mean that on turn... Oh, that's actually terrible for me. That's going to mean that they know they can just get in here. Yeah, this might have been a little wacky, but I could surprise like a Cosmo into Valley, then turns off the Juggernaut. But then I don't know why I made any of these plays like I did. Okay. Might be a little bit sketchy here. I do like the Jeff over into the bridge, too. I think I'm going to wait for next turn to do that one, though. Cosmo Center. Sure. Iron Fist, Human Torch, and then another bounce. Wow. Okay. So we are certainly... But if we Juggernaut them into the bridge, that's terrible for them. No way they're going to want to take that gamble. Right? Right. So we could knock them out of the bridge, and then they can't really play to the Valley next turn. That's kind of interesting. Though they could possibly find some ways around a Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And then I'm just playing Cerebro. I don't think the Jeff matters where it goes. Oh, that's right. I didn't want to play it here because I don't want the Bass to clog me up in Valley of the Hand. All right. Let's see if they kill my Bass to bring it back. And then we can move Jeff over into the bridge just so that way we're, like, covered just in case. I think that this might be a little bit of a weird play here. All right, but they're not going into Valley. That's Hydra Stomper from Camp Lehigh for sure. Yeah, okay. And then we get back Juggernaut and Makari. and they are giving us priority here. So I think we're kind of covered with like the bare minimum of the Bast and Rickety Bridge, and we just play this, and this is just like as good of a loadout as this deck has access to. They'll have to play something here just to trade and make it a differential game, and then we maybe just lose to a Human Torch. But, you know, what can you do? If we're playing our Cerebro and our Mystique, and we've got 7 cards that we're pumping up, 7 times 9 is 63 total power. They have to put out 63 total power plus sacrifice a card to Negasonic and to the Rickety Bridge. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. This will be for all of my cubes. And kind of like my advantage. If we lose here, then we no longer have a 2-cube advantage in the next game. So we'll see how this one works out and what they have come up with. I think we've got to see like a sacrifice. This could be an Iron Fist getting sacrificed here, or this could be an Iron Fist getting sacrificed here. Both of those make sense. We're going to see Human Torch come over, double up, and then maybe, oh, a Vulture. I was thinking a Doctor Strange. Oh, Ghost Spider, Vulture. But then all of these die, and we win big on that one, actually. Okay. Oh, they were thinking a Scarlet Witch was coming. I was like, that's a lot of points over in the bridge, but that makes a lot of sense if you are trying to get into your opponent's head and just assuming Scarlet Witch. But no, I was fine to tie Rickety Bridge and put up, what did I say this was? 63 points in the other 2 locations. That looked good enough to me. So now, Kingpin left with just 1 cube. They'll have to win the next 3 games. It's certainly possible. Let's not count him out. Westview, not a great location. And, you know, we're not snapping. We're not retreating at this point. We are just playing to the best of our abilities. I think we're going to kill oh, it's a Madam Web. Never mind. I do not have any tech for Madam Web. 0 Madam Web tech. Oh, here, this one's cute. Luke Cage into Rocket Pad. We're going to need to take out Nidavellir, and we're going to need to take out this location if this even becomes a Cerebro game. We currently do not have Cerebro. We do have priority to take this out in the pad. Maybe this is not a Cerebro game. Maybe we're just trying to trade Negasonic for their Vulture here. Nope, didn't get it. Interesting. So now they're going to give us the Rocket Pad. So, yeah, they want us to win the Rocket Pad so that way we can't Cerebro. But that might just be a-okay. I mean, I think there's too much wackiness going on here. Kind of don't even want to play the Bast until we've played the Killmonger. So I suppose we can play Luke Cage over into Nidavellir. We're going to hard commit over into Nidavellir to get some points there. And actually, Killmonger should be able to win us Nidavellir. Toxin. Okay. Now they've got a good play of Vulture plus Ghost Spider to win Rocket Pad, and we are just totally off the Cerebro plan. We could maybe Cerebro 7. We could maybe Scarlet Witch and roll some RNG here as well. So we have Prio. We can kick the Ghost Spider out of the Rocket Pad, which preserves the Negasonic Teenage Warhead till the final turn. And then we can Killmonger over in Nidavellir on the final turn, moving over Jeff potentially. And Scarlet Witching and Isle of Silence just to crank up the RNG. So let's see what this does for us. Yeah, this is a Vulture. Ghost Spider is going to bring the Vulture over into Isle of Silence now, which is now hopefully a terrible location. Danger Room. Okay, not super terrible. Oh, they went for Iron Fist. Okay. Smart, smart. And with Ghost Spider, they can easily get this back over here. They've taken Prio. So it does feel like something like this is reasonable, and then, honestly, this is still my best play. I might move this over. If they bring the Vulture, I might need a lot of points to compete over here, and 3 beats 0 currently in this location. So let's see what this brings. You know, if we have to get some bad locations, I would rather get all of our bad locations up at one point. Though realistically, we could have played around the rocket pad and Scarlet Witched Nidavellir, and all of these locations would have been fine this game. They're going to Doctor Strange the Vulture back into the pad. I don't know what this is. Maybe a Toxin? I think we may have seen a Toxin on this in some previous games. They're going to Sage over... or Aranya over a Sage into Nidavellir, and then Ghost Spider it back into Danger Room. Dang, so they do win Danger Room despite me blowing up all of their ones there. They did still play around the Killmonger in that capacity, and Cerebro was probably never getting some points over into Danger Room. If I kept Jeff over here and I played the Killmonger here, and the Killmonger didn't die, then we would have tied here, but then I wouldn't have had any points over in Nidavellir. Right? I would have tied. Yeah, and I would have lost that game on differential. All right. Gotta win one of the next 2 now. Deep into high stakes mode here. Bast with some targets is good. Muir Island's actually not terrible. I can play my Bast there on turn 5. And it's kind of silly, but it works. Sinister London is going to further complicate that action, though. It's going to mean that I need to draw Scarlet Witch as soon as possible for Muir Island. Oh, Sinister London Madam Web is really good. A pair of Madam Webs is quite fantastic. Okay, Strange Academy going to make me play into Muir Island eventually here. We can draw one more card before next turn we play Sentinel here. Now, Bast gets played here on turn 5. All right. Yeah, the only other option is to, like, find a Jeff to move it out of Muir Island, but it's not looking great. Not looking great for this game. You just basically need to draw Scarlet Witch this turn. Do we find it? No, we find the Jeff, though. So the Jeff allows us to get some pumps onto it and then move it out. Doesn't seem super helpful. Yeah, because it's not even going to have the same amount of pumps unless we move it in right now, which feels like an odd concession. I'd rather give myself one more opportunity to find Scarlet Witch and then make big use of Sinister London on the final turn of the game. All right, I'm going to give myself one more opportunity to find a Scarlet Witch. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, they are just doing all sorts of absolute nonsense over there. I'm just trying to, like, puzzle together a Cerebro 3-game plan. Meanwhile, they are moving and bouncing in a way that I will probably not be able to contend with. I mean, maybe all 3 of these cards land in Sinister London. I think we cannot play for that, though. We do get to play this here, this turn. That's kind of free. We actually could move the Jeff here preemptively and then just hope that we get a 1 in 8 chance for all 3 Sentinels to land in Sinister London. And then we play 2 cards to Strange Academy next turn, which is like... yeah, not even that good. Sure, let's see what happens. Alright. Meanwhile, they can also just move cards into Strange Academy for free, and then they're going to get moved over into other locations. Yeah, Iron Fist moving Vulture into Strange Academy. Oh no, it moves it the other way, my bad. But, yeah, this is pretty wild. Alright, let's see if we get the 1 and 8. No shot, no shot. No, okay. Arg. Close, close. Wait. Oh, we actually got it. Okay. But it's way too little too late. The only thing that we could possibly do here is hit a, like a really terrible location. Okay. What if we make this into a world ship and we somehow knock out everything? Yeah, that's not gonna work. Maybe there's a weird location that wins me the game. We'll try. We'll see what happens. I don't think so, though, which means we are going to the final game here, the final cubes. And we'll see what they come up with. Oh, they even moved Dagger over here. Yeah, we have to change this into, like, World Ship and then also change it into Bar with No Name. Not possible. Not possible. See what we get. Monster Metropolis. Yeah. Okay. That game was not close. Hopefully this game we can draw the... I mean, even if we drew the Scarlet Witch sooner, like, we also did not draw Cerebro, and they were also doing crazy things, so none of those things really would have helped me. I think we will Bast into the Abbey just to also draw a card with them. Means that we lose our Bast, but means that we could draw closer into Cerebro. Let's send them the Fist here as they throw down an Iron Fist. If they want to activate the Abbey, they aren't going to be able to utilize Iron Fist, so we probably get to draw a card here, which is nice. And Starlight Citadel's a swapper, but I haven't really seen a location that I hate just yet. Alright, they are also going to... we're both foregoing use of our 1-drop to draw an additional card here. Is this a Madam Web? It is, yeah. So they're not hurting for too much if they have their Madam Web, you know? They can afford to make slightly bolder plays elsewhere. And then the final location is TVA. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So we have Prio right now. I think we're going to retain priority here. So I think we're just playing Killmonger. That does mean we take out our Bast while we take out Iron Fist, so it's not a huge upgrade. Guess we probably just keep it in case they play exactly Human Torch here, and we feel we need to torch that. Oh, we do this. This is actually the play. Yes. Juggernaut with priority to knock them out of Madam Web is actually really fantastic. Just saw that at the last second, and that might be able to lock it up. It's a Human Torch plus a dagger. And now they are pretty lost in the Abbey, and we can go Killmonger to knock out all of these points. And then I think we're just like beating them on points. We're already beating them by 1 point. And this continues to beat them. So it's 3. This is 6 points. Anything else would also be 6 points. They have Prio, so Cosmo's no bueno. I think we probably do this. They could move Dagger back into the Abbey somehow. Maybe they Doctor Strange and move these two, though. All right. Let's see how it goes. this is what I got. Let's see what you've got for me. This could be like a toxin here. Yeah, Doctor Strange, move these two, please. Wow. Wow. I mean, I called it, but man, oh man, was that a hit. And then Toxin on nothing. Killmonger takes the win in Citadel and in the Abbey. And the locations change, but the winner of this match does not. That was a crazy, crazy final game. If Doctor Strange had moved the dagger, then we just lose. Yeah, wow. Crazy. That was a 1 in 3 to happen, but match 2, we don't have to do this, but we decided to both play the exact same deck lists. Just because we think it's kind of an interesting matchup. I thought Kingpin might feel this way, but wow. I mean, Madam Web could be pretty spicy in that location, but so is Cerebro. That basically means that all of my cards would be 15 power? Yeah, all right. That seemed like a really good location for me. But what I was saying initially is that I think this matchup has interesting plays that both of us can make. And it's not like incredibly lopsided. And the format of like best of 3 with closed deck lists is a little bit funky. So I am totally fine to just play this. We can play Gorgon and then they get an expensive Gorgon plus any other cards I played in Machine World would be expensive. I don't know that we have to do that. But I guess let's just run out Gorgon over here to start off with. Don't want to just give them a free card, I don't believe, just yet. So I'm going to play Gorgon into the Unknown. They also decide to go into the Unknown here with an Iron Fist. Okay, now we have to play to this location. I could jug them with Prio, which does have some upside. It means that if they play like a Vulture or Dagger or Human Torch and it lands here, it won't be able to move with Iron Fist. That's probably good enough upside for me. Yeah, not giving them the Gorgon when I have Sentinel too makes a lot of sense. We can give them Sentinel though on turn 4. It's unlikely they're going to be able to do too much with that. This could be a Vulture that we bully around here. That looks good to me. That was a Vulture that we completely fisted there. Scarlet Witch on the final turn is, well, I don't know if it's any more important than just playing it right now. But we'll just do this for now. Next turn, Sentinel Cosmo. We want to stop a potential bounce in Shadowland. So we could play the Cosmo into Shadowland right now with Prio, but I think I'm just going to battle for Prio elsewhere. And if they bounce this turn, then they bounce this turn. But yeah, give myself a little bit more of an opportunity to just curve out slightly better, right? Actually giving them cards. Ooh, this was the bounce. Okay, well, I wouldn't have played the Cosmo here, wouldn't have seen that line, but oh, that's actually not what it is. Okay. We can blow up the Iron Fist. They have a lot of points going on right here. We could Scarlet Witch over here. I mean, I need to find the Cerebro. So what could they do? They could send a Vulture over here and try to bounce it. They actually have Prio right now, though. So that's not great. They have 5 cards in hand, so if we keep feeding them, that is actually kind of funky. Play like this, they always have Prio, but then they could Cosmo my Killmonger. Cost 4 for them to Cosmo the Killmonger, but I don't know if I still want them to be able to do that. Probably move Vulture over and bounce it. That could actually toss them Prio, couldn't it? Yeah, so we actually could take Prio here. I think that we'll retreat. We just aren't doing anything super good, and they don't have like an incredible line here. I should have fast retreated. My fault. I haven't seen anything like super impressive from them here, but I just don't really have much not having the Cerebro. And I kind of do need Cerebro in this matchup. That is one thing that makes this matchup kind of not in my favor. Sometimes you can just win the games with your tech cards. This is not going to be one of those matchups. Pit of Exile. Good location for them. We'll start off with Sentinel over there. Oh, Project Peggy. Interesting. And them randomly with Prio here. So I guess now we're just doing a little bit of this action. Sure. Should play it like this for the specific reason that I don't want to play a Sentinel here until the final turn. So this will make things less awkward in that, and I've also completely caught out the dagger. The dagger will eventually get some value here, though. They found me. I guess I could have played all of my cards into the unknown. Kind of a risk, though. And I wasn't going to play my Cosmo into the unknown in case I need to turn this location off either, so... Well, they can't bounce here now. So we did lock down Pit of Exile. They could find a Madam Web. And we could have an Attalon here. Okay. I suppose we run out the Killmonger. It destroys the Aranya, which means they have to use it right now. And yeah, I don't want to keep these cards, so I don't want to like Scarlet Witch or anything. They Frigga the Aranya. Okay. If I had Prio, boom, that would have been a crazy play here, but they're actually just drawing an Aranya just to shuffle it back in, and it's an activate card. So I'm not really super afraid of this sequence here anyways. If we want Prio because we have Juggernaut, we could act to take it with a play like this. It's scary playing Scarlet Witch when all of the locations are fine, but I want to play my cards. I don't want to not play my cards, so let's play my cards. It's a Vulture and a Ghost Spider, okay? Not taking priority then just yet. The Space Throne. Okay, so we've won center. We've actually won the center location with Cerebro. So now we can Bast, and then on the final turn we can go Cerebro plus Juggernaut. Just debating. I mean, we might want to play Negasonic or Mystique. I'm actually trying to think if it makes any sense to play Bast. Are we actually trying to win Attalon? Or would it be better for us... I think we snap. They could bounce over here. And it's not like we're going to be able to jug them out of this location, but yeah, the snap actually just makes a lot of sense there. A little spicy there with Scarlet Witch's Space Throne. Almost forgot about the snap mechanic. You play like 4 or 5 games where nobody gets to snap, and then all of a sudden the snap is back, and we trade some 1-cube games for a second there. All right, Deep Space. Let's go into the vault first. Honestly, if they don't have a Madam Web on turn 2, I think we're snapping on this one. And where would they even play the Madam Web? Okay, so they have the Madam Web. We're sticking with it. If this location bites me, it's a bummer. I will get to Juggernaut them out of Madam Web on turn 3, which is a play that I think seems to be reasonable for me. Yeah, this kind of cuts off Aranya and Iron Fist in interesting ways. Now, this is not great for me. Camelot is decidedly not great, but... like, what am I doing? Just playing Cerebro Mystique into Camelot on the final turn? I have Prio. If they specifically have, like, Iron Fist, then this is fine. I might want to wait on this, but I kind of want to wait on all of my cards. So we're going to play Juggernaut here. Next turn, we're going to go Sentinel into the Vault plus... Okay, we got him. We got him into Deep Space. I don't think that'll matter too much for too long, though. But we at least did a little bit here. We can Scarlet Witch here, or we can Scarlet Witch in Camelot. Both of those are interesting plays. Both of those are quite interesting plays. So the play would be this plus this, then Gorgon plus Killmonger, and then Cerebro plus Mystique. And we could even play Killmonger into Deep Space, or more cards into Deep Space if we wanted to. That feels so bad to not just do this, because this is the location that they typically don't battle as hard for. So I think we're going to do this plus this. Snap into Scarlet Witch is a little spooky. But I think we can still figure this out as long as we don't get a disastrous location here. All right, Ghost Spider is going to bring in the Vulture, which is, yeah, why I wanted to do this. Do we have Prio here? No, right? Oh, Dream Dimension immediately active. Maybe that will throw off some of their plans. So into the Vault, they have Prio. It could be like just Cerebro into Mystique plus Killmonger next turn. It's not getting out that many points, though. They can easily get into the Vault again. I mean, I think I just have to play exactly Cerebro here. I don't think there's any way around this. This does allow them to get more points on a Sage in Dream Dimension, so I guess I always play this here. It turns me off of a Jeff. And gives Dagger a little bit more power. But I think that's what I'm going for. This could give me Prio too, which could be interesting. See how all of this works. Four cubes. Let's see what they come up with here. Yeah, that Vulture's going to move into the Vault. And then what else do they have? They do play a Sage into the Vault for 23. So I can Mystique to win the Vault right now. And I kind of feel like I have to. And then what's my final play? They have Prio. It's Killmonger here for 18 total points right here. Which location is going to be the easiest or hardest for them to... I mean, yeah, Killmonger's my only play. The only other play would be playing something into Deep Space. But I think it's just Mystique plus Killmonger. Gives me 9 more points right here up to 27. That beats even the Ghost Spider moving in. And then, yeah, they have to come up with 15 more points. 15 more points right here. I don't know. This looks good to me. Am I going crazy? Or is Killmonger without priority for 12 points? Actually, even more than that, because we kill the Ghost Spider, right? So they literally have to come up with 18 points in this location, plus 1 point over here. So I think they might just have to retreat at that point. What else could they have? They can't really Sage the Frigga. I think the Dream Dimension may have crushed it. Okay, they're moving into Deep Space. Is that the Ghost Spider? Oh, it's a bunch of cards over in Deep Space. It's an Iron Fist with a Dagger to move into the Vault. They got me. They got me. Dagger puts them up to 33. I add 9 more points there. Wow. Wow. Wait, if we take out the Aranya, no, it still doesn't do it. Wow, so I needed to do Jeff or something? That still wouldn't have even worked. Yeah, this is only 27. and we put them down to 31. Good find there. So if I had played a card right here, then yeah, it would have needed to be like something that also took some points out of here, because we were tied 9-9 there for a second. So if I had played if I had instead just played a card here, I would have had 12 points. If I just played like a card here and a card here, then I've got 12 points here and 6 points here. Instead, I'm losing 8 cubes, and now I've got to win the next 4. That was a really, really close game there. Nail biter for sure. Yeah, there is some incentive to just like make a little bit more of an off-beaten play than a play that they can predict. I was just kind of thinking they couldn't get into the vault with that location set up, but they certainly could have there. And a Mirror Island not looking great for me for now. All right, we'll drop a Gorgon. We're going to stay in it, try our best, but I think Kingpin's got us in this one, if only because we'll have to win the next 4 games. That's a lot. That's a big ask. Okay. Killmonger just okay.
I am Ego,
Sure.
and this is my domain.
Very, very unlikely that I make it out of a Mirror Island game. Their deck is tough to play, though, so I could see Ego messing this one up for sure. Like playing Sage into Mirror Island, that's pretty bad. But yeah, like my Killmonger's just going to be fine, and then my Bast into Mirror Island, sure, good sequencing there. We could actually take this, despite all the odds here. But our Cerebro is not going to be good. So we'll see. We'll see how Ego manages to square this up. They take Sage out of Mirror Island, and they don't move the dagger. I think that this is just a win, because Ego does not know what they're doing. Okay. We got to win the next 3 games. Juggernaut wins Ego or Mirror Island. Yeah, I think we've won. As long as they play the Juggernaut. Nice. That should work. And as long as these 2 cards in Pet Mansion don't total up to 9, but I don't even think they can do that. Nope. All right. Oh, and they even move their Toxin. Easy. Easy game. That's one way you win with Mirror Island with Cerebro 3. Have to win the next 3 games now. And this is a good starting position here. We already have a card that we can play on turn 3, but I do think I'm going to run out the Bast here to pump up the Cerebro as a solo bro. Oh, we've got so many ways to win Asgard. Maybe I don't need to do this then. Let's just find a 2-drop, please. Any 2-drop, please. Nice. Oh, actually, one of the best 2-drops. Not the best one, but one of the best ones. Kingpin, let me get a little bit of a footing in here. Do I want Negasonic or Juggernaut this turn? We'll play Negasonic right now. They're not super likely to play into Asgard right now even, but this is still good. Yeah, it's just a turn 3 Vulture. And, oh, it's a 50-50 for Prio. So we might not, but we are able to knock that out of here. And then we'll finish off a Bast. I'm assuming like a Ghost Spider into Asgard. But we're going to knock that out, draw some cards. We already have the main 2 cards in our hand that we want to hit with Bast, so I'm not going to worry about holding on to Bast so that we can pump up a Luke Cage just slightly. This will be more than good enough for me. Well, they doing a lot over here. Let's see. Let's see what could have been. Ghost Spider, and then... was this like... oh, it's a Doctor Strange to bring it over. But instead, Doctor Strange is totally countered. They're going to pick up both of those cards, or they're going to destroy them with Genosha. Now, Throne Room's a tricky location, because they could totally ignore Throne Room to really just stick it to me, and honestly, I think that they will. So I think that we have to play to both of these and not play the Killmonger, because the Killmonger would destroy my other card. So we're just going to drop double 2s in Genosha, and next turn play Cerebro, Mystique, and be fairly content with that. It's a little bit unfortunate that, like, they know that we have to avoid the Throne Room, so they actually just kind of get to walk the Throne Room with Aranya right now. Luke Cage would be an interesting draw. Oh, or Scarlet Woman. But I am simply going to make all of my 3s into 9s. They got it, they got it. It's 28 points over in Asgard. It's just got to be enough sometimes. Luke Cage could have been a really funky draw, though, to tie it up in Throne Room. I don't think I would have gone for it. I think I would have always made this play and just let them win the center location. I could, if we really, really, like, wanted to, but the thing is, I don't know that they can beat this. So if I'm not confident that they can even beat this, let's present this as a plan first and not worry about getting funky, because Scarlet Witch could always screw me over. It could always just give me a pump or a minus location, and then I'm looking real silly. It's a Vulture center, but it's not going to stay there. There's a Ghost Spider and a Doctor Strange going to be whipping things around. This is Ghost Spider. This is Doctor Strange. So they are battling for Genosha, which is 36 points, as opposed to the 28 over here in Asgard. If these weren't both Bast buffed, then that might have been a little bit closer. I think I've got it. I think I've got it here still, but this is close. Yeah, if they had thrown this over here, then wow, how close was that? Oh, and they did actually play a card into Throne Room, so I could have won this location, though it would have been tough. 10 is a big number. And the way that it works, don't even worry about the way that it works, but if they had thrown the Vulture over here, they would have beaten me here 31 to 28. So they actually could have gotten me. Got to win the next 2 games now. It's looking a little bit more reasonable. Gamma Lab's no bueno. We're going to Scarlet Witch that. Probably just going to Scarlet Witch it on turn 2. Maybe we Killmonger it? That's interesting. If they play a bunch of 1s here, then we could Killmonger and just beat them on Hulk advantage. And then try to win another location with Negasonic and Juggernaut. Cards that we don't currently have. Madam Web. So they're going to move over their ninja. Awkwardly... Oh, they have Prio. Oh. So this is actually totally reasonable. Killmonger is totally reasonable here if we're just expecting them to play at least one more 1-cost card. We're at least beating them by 12 points. Don't love that we're still trying to beat them in a Madam Web game, but I don't have Cerebro. These are the cards that I have. Let's play with the cards that I have, not the cards that I want to draw. Ooh, what is this now? Vulture. Okay. I think I like this. All right. Let's go for 24 points over in Gamma Lab against a deck that does not have Shang-Chi. And now we're just going to try to win a lane with Juggernaut. We could also go for Scarlet Witch Spice. Big House doesn't help or hinder either of us, so it really doesn't matter. We're going to try to get Prio and knock them out of one of these 2 locations in an interesting fashion, potentially paired with a Negasonic Teenage Warhead next turn if we can draw it. Sokovia? Not my jug. Whew, okay, Bast. Bast was a brick anyways, and what do they have here in Gamma Lab? It's got to be like a dagger. Oh, a Frigga on Vulture. Sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. With Prio, I could jug them out of Sokovia. No, with Prio, I can Negasonic them. This all looks pretty good. We're probably battling for Sokovia, but we don't have to do that this turn. We can continue to put points into Big House. Next turn, go Sentinel Juggernaut into Sokovia. It's probably good enough. Do have to fear a Doctor Strange a little bit. And I think they could play a Doctor Strange here into Sokovia. They go Doctor Strange into Sokovia, then Vulture, move in their other Vulture. Negasonic eats the Doctor Strange. Yeah, that'd be a bit of a bummer. But then we do still have Juggernaut next turn. Ooh, they completely dodge in Sokovia. So what is this? Is this an Iron Fist? Oh, it's a Ghost Spider plus a Beast. All right. Well, now we have Prio. We have Prio, and I feel content in the Gamma Lab. The Negasonic, I think, is going to mess with them a little bit in Sokovia, too. And then I think what I could actually see myself doing here is just putting 3 more points over in Gamma Lab. And just saying that's tough. Now it's 27. It's a number that you weren't prepared for, and we're kind of battling in interesting ways for all 3 locations here, plus Juggernaut to mess them up. I think we found a winning line. They're going to go in the tank here, I'm sure, for a little bit. They know that Juggernaut's a card I have access to. They know that Cosmo's a card I have access to. If I could have Jugger Cosmo'd them here, of course I would have. They may actually not play for here because Cerebro could give me 4 points in this location, and that might just be a card that I, like, have to play, but probably not, right? Yeah, Juggernaut's the real killer here. The only other thing that I could have done is, yeah, Cosmo, and then I could also go Cosmo Mystique. It's a very seldomly used line for this deck, and it would have probably meant that I was losing the Big House regardless, because I'd play the Cosmo into the location where I already have the point lead. Like a Cosmo plus a Negasonic is pretty tough to get through. But hopefully, yeah, this just means I've won the Big House and Gamma Lab, right? They can do whatever else they want in Sokovia. Ghost Spider, yeah, this is just, oh, that's Negasonic food. And then Vulture, Frigga on Vulture, and what was this last card? Just 2 more points to go over the top in Big House? Yeah, just a few more points. Okay. They sent me respect. Yeah, it's not often that you can find a cool line here with Cerebro 3 for going for these Hulks. And also, we battled back against an 8-cube loss to score some wins in this matchup. Ego helped us, to be sure. But, oh, and if we could hit this Cerebro here, do I play the Bast to try to hit this Cerebro? I think that I do. Gives me a 1 in 3, and I'm already pumping up the Cerebro with that. Yeah, let's go for this. Ah, Juggernaut. Oh, they get a second Madam Web. Oh, that's such a bummer. A second Madam Web, and they know about my Juggernaut. Those are really, really bad things to have happened to me. They now know I'm going to Juggernaut Madam Web on turn 3. Actually, they've got 2 Madam Webs, so I can't really even do that. Okay, Dark Dimension is okay. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. We can play Cerebro here. We can play Killmonger here. I think the only play that I actually have for this turn, though, is Juggernaut into Madam Web. They could still go Iron Fist, Dagger, or something to get in here, but let's at least make it a little bit trickier on them, though they tend not to do that. They tend to just go like Vulture Center, and I guess if that's the case, they'll have to pick up some Vibranium, but this is what we've got, so this is what we're going to go for. It turns off their easiest play line, which is Vulture or Dagger into Madam Web, or some other play where they like Ghost Spider into this location. Yeah, it's just a Vulture Center. As it has been a lot... Oh, it's a Frigga? Wow. Wow. That is definitely not what I was expecting there. Was a third Madam Web to hit the game. I definitely don't want Vibranium. I guess we'll play Negasonic with Prio here. Sure. Okay, we got him. But that looks like another Madam Web. What? What is happening? Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. We're doing this. Next turn we can move over Jeff if we hit Mystique and then play Mystique Killmonger into this location. This isn't a huge overcommit here, but it's... I don't want to draw Vibranium. I want to potentially find Mystique or Cosmo, so this is what we're going for. They might just have absolutely nothing. They may have just totally bricked, and we stalled them out long enough. Winning back 8 cubes, this would be an incredible, incredible comeback if we are able to clinch it here. And if not, then we get to play another match. So win-win scenario for me, I think. We'll see how this one shakes out, but I like my Killmonger into Dark Dimension. We've got a lot of points over in Astral Plane. It's likely to be overkill. Oh, I should remember that this Juggernaut is currently only for 3, but if I play Luke Cage, I can pump up this Juggernaut specifically, if that's what I decide to do. They've got a Vulture here. I do find the Mystique. So I could certainly Mystique the Cerebro, and then I could just play the Killmonger. I feel like that is a solid amount of points. It's 9 over here. It is... Yeah, they're going to move around some daggers and things. Sorry, it is not 9 over here. It is 27 over here. I don't need more points over in Astral Plane. And this is 18 regardless of how you slice it. If I play 3 6s or 2 9s. Killmonger's destroying Bast, so it's straight up 18. All right, let's see how this one goes. Oh, my game froze. I was going to give Kingpin a fist bump here. But let's see how this shakes out. Yeah, dagger over into Astral Plane. Well, they had to go for it, and they could still have a Doctor Strange to whip this thing around. It's definitely possible. We're flipping over first here. So, how many points is this? Just 9. Yeah, if they have a Doctor Strange, I think we might lose Dark Dimension. Oh, taking out that was big. But yeah, they move over the dagger and they beat me. Nothing I could have done with the cards that I had, right? I could have played Killmonger center. Maybe that was the play. I needed to play Killmonger center. Yeah, that was it. All right, GG's. We're moving on to match 3. We have decided we are going to play these same decks one more time. This might be a lot of Cerebro versus Move Bounce for one video, but I think it makes sense to just keep the same through line throughout as well, and that could be just a good way to run it. Valhalla could be pretty spicy for them. It could allow them to get multiple bounces off of a beast. If they have beast specifically, this is very good. Elysium's also pretty good because it makes so many of their cards just straight up free, and it turns their toxin into a beast. I don't know if it really makes sense for me to get rid of Elysium, but it could make sense for me to at least play Negasonic into Valhalla for now. So let's start here, and we'll see if there's anything else that we might want to spend this Scarlet Witch on, and if not, maybe we rip it into Elysium next turn. There is kind of a cheeky play. All right, well, this at least protects a beast from coming down this turn and then getting used again next turn. Wakandan Embassy looks like a bummer, but then we do find Bast, so that's good. And then we probably turn off Elysium next turn. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. So we can't drop Luke Cage now. We'll have to remember that. But we could potentially get them by turning off Elysium on turn 5, and then they think they're going to have a bunch of energy that they get to have discounts on the final turn of the game, but then all of a sudden that they don't. I could see them snapping here. Wow, okay. It's pretty reserved for them to not snap here. They instead just try to re-trigger Toxin, which I do think I'm going to be turning off Valhalla now. This is just too much value to be able to activate this location again. And I can never play Luke Cage unless Valhalla gives me a really weird location. We could play this to play around like Monster Island coming out here. Sure. Then I'll just play Cerebro, I suppose, and spend my energy, use it or lose it. I'd really love to hit Sentinel next turn. Oh, maybe I should have snapped here. Okay, yeah, we're not going to let you do all this. This is too much. I would have loved Sentinel in my Valhalla, though. All right, and then we get Necrotia. So we'll have to move out Jeff because Luke Cage actually just trolls us here. We do find Sentinel. That is a huge Sentinel to pick up. Because it means we're actually going to be able to make plays next turn. They might have thought that they would have been able to pick up or otherwise move around this Vulture. At the very least, this is good that we have lost this location by so much, because we're going to continue to lose this location. Next turn, we are just going to play Sentinel plus whatever we rip off the top. And then we'll move Jeff potentially here, play Sentinel here, and play Juggernaut here or something. We're going to snap. It's a bold snap. Luke Cage, Necrotia is the reason that this deck plays Luke Cage. So it's a little bit awkward, but if we play Luke Cage, this is currently a, like, I just don't really, I'm not confident enough in how it works, but I think it's terrible for me. All right, they do have the Beast to pick up and move around Necrotia, which is actually terrible because now they're just going to win Necrotia for free, and I've got to win both of these other 2 locations. But it might be possible with a well-timed Cosmo. So what did we give them? We gave them a Doctor Strange. So I think what we have to do is play a Cosmo here and then do this. Or a Cosmo here and then do this. This is 27 points at both locations. I think it is better to go 18 and full send here. This way we beat whatever shenanigans here happen here, and we tech whatever shenanigans happen here. Again, I don't believe I can play the Luke Cage. So we'll have to see that this is good enough, and I think it could be. Just 36 points in Elysium, 18 points over in Wakandan Embassy. That probably, I mean, they're going to play some other cards over into Necrotia. Like, yeah, just so that way their cards don't get stopped by a Cosmo. And they might not realize how bad a Luke Cage is here, so they might be thinking that a Luke Cage could come down to save them from Necrotia. At this point, they know all the contents of the deck. Luke Cage is like the least important one. All right, they're going to get out for 2 cubes. I feel good about that one. Feel good about my snap as well. They say they could have won. Yeah, possibly. They don't know what tech we had, though, is the problem. And we were kind of chatting in between the match. But they said they were slow on the maths. Impossible to know what they were going to go for. But we did have, I think, a pretty good combination. We lose, oh, that is really good for us. They lose Vulture, and we have Killmonger. We're snapping. We can replace the Sabretooth. Oh, it will mean, again, the Luke Cage kind of bones us. So we'll have to pick between Luke Cage and Sabretooth, but instead we will just score a cube. I saw that they lost their Vulture. We lost, you know, a relevant card, but we could have, like, picked up another Cerebro for all they know, right? And then they are really in a bind there without their Vulture and with me having Killmonger. Sanctorum's a good location for them. We've got Jeff as the only way to excuse me, as the only way to access it. But I don't think that enough is going to be enough to make me retreat. Could also mean that they have the Madam Web. I'm willing to play this out for 2 cubes, though, with the Cerebro in hand. We see Aranya. And we see Mount Vesuvius. Okay. Would love to draw me a Bast. And just thinking about how Juggernaut or Negasonic Teenage Warhead might line up on a board like this. There's the Madam Web. So we would assume that a card gets played to Mount Vesuvius this turn. Do we have the 50-50 priority? No. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. So they have the 50-50 battling for priority, which I think just means I have to play my Negasonic into New York, unfortunately. They're going to play a card here. It's going to move in. And then next turn, they won't be able to play a card easily into this location. We could also Juggernaut them out for a turn, which could spice it up. New York is going to make things tricky for me, too. We might be retreating this game on turn 5. All right. That's the dagger. That was an interesting way to sequence all of that. Now, we have Scarlet Witch for Mount Vesuvius or for New York, and we'll have to make a tough decision on that one. We do have priority here. So, with priority, I think we always Juggernaut them out of New York. Oh, you know what else we could do with priority? Killmonger the Aranya. I think it's time that we make that play. I think it's finally time we Killmonger and Aranya. Next turn we're going Scarlet Witch plus Cerebro, probably. Scarlet Witching New York. And then we're riding it out for 4 cubes, but we have the opportunity, if Scarlet Witch really blesses us, to maybe amp it up for 8. And that could be kind of spicy too. All right, they are simply sacrificing into Negasonic here. What are they giving us? This is just a Doctor Strange on the dagger. That makes a lot of sense. Wish I'd played around it. Actually, I couldn't have, because if I played the Killmonger here, then they would have gotten more points on the flip side of that. Them with Prio. Me with Juggernaut. It's not super helpful, to be totally honest. I think we Scarlet Witch. Yeah, I mean, they're going to move the dagger here. And then they're going to have the opportunity to move the dagger back. We're going to turn that off, though. I think Juggernaut plus Cerebro might be able to find some kind of winning combination here. Let's just do... Oh, wait. So it has to be this, then. I can't Cosmo here. I actually want to take priority. Yeah. Okay. Mount Vesuvius. So we're in for 4. They've got Vulture into Sanctorum. And a Human Torch. All right, all the boys are here. New York is gone, though, which is important. Because I think they were planning on using that to score some extra points. We definitely have Prio right now. And we've already destroyed their Doctor Strange. Their last card played, I think, was Human Torch. So they could, like, whip the Human Torch over in the building that we, like, could potentially think about Cosmoing. But I don't think that that's super important here. Almost feel like... Yeah, they could move the dagger over here. It's potentially something I want to play around. What else do they even have access to? I don't see them ever winning Baxter Building. Which means I think I just always do this. It's 18. There is one other play that I could make, which would be... also 18, and it's just this. Sure. Let's snap. Let's see if this is it. They can't retreat. We're going to make it a 7-cuber. If I'm winning, I'm winning. So I think we've maybe done it. They move the dagger center. They play 2 more cards. What do they have? What do we have? It's dagger to 14, 18. Oh, but I juggernaut them. I juggernaut them out of Mount Vesuvius. So I have 22 points in Mount Vesuvius. Sage does not connect. Beast does nothing. And we grab the win with Cerebro 3. What an incredible match this has been, Kingpin. But we are able to take it, so we are on to the finals of the Snap Wars League. To enter into my giveaway, there are 3 things that you need to do. The first is subscribe to this YouTube channel. The second is leave a comment on any of my videos. This season, every comment will give you an additional entry into the giveaway. Limit 1 per video, but you can comment on all of the videos that I upload throughout this season. And the third thing that you have to do is join my Discord. And the reason that I need you to do that is so that way I can contact you if you win, because YouTube comments, you don't always get the notifications for things like that. So join my Discord, leave a comment on all of my videos, and subscribe for more Sweet Marvel Snap.